Ocean Center. Hi, Jeff. You staying warm out there in Western Mass?
Good morning.
Good.
Yep, nice and toasty. Thank you. Nice
Keep
and
keep the
toasty.
hearth
How are you
fire
doing, Mama?
good. Trying to keep the heart fire alive, warming self and all.
Nice. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It's Sunday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 21st of February. Spring is right around the corner. And I just texted a few of our upcoming events, our live virtual retreat, March 5th through 7th. And if you're interested in digging deeper a little into the meditations and teachings of this great and profound view that Lama Surya Das holds, we invite you to come to that spring retreat. And that counts. Gratitude is my favorite prayer, and there should be a link for that. I'll send a link. And of course, if you can donate, help us reach more people. Thank you so much. And Lama, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Gala. Happy Sunday. Yes, it's kind of a joke here in New England. Spring is just around the corner. Until about May or June, we say that, just before it gets too hot and muggy and buggy. But all is perfect in the great perfection. When I asked the Lama once how his, aged, ill, old guru was, he said, "Oh, he's very fine. He's perfect. It's all perfect in the great perfection, right? It has to be." That's how he told me that he wasn't great, in such great shape, but we still had to accept and see it as, the natural unfolding or something. It has to be. It must be, even though I might not see it that way. So I always laugh when I think about that. It helps lighten me up about whether I'm evaluating or judging in right or wrong way, or even if it's really necessary or helpful to evaluate and judge it all. I mean, sometimes it is. So it's a beautiful Sunday here. It's sunny. And when I really love seeing the snow is at night with the moonlight and the shadows of the bare trees and all curly and on the snow and the paths. And I love looking out here on the road through the trees. And it's like a path beckoning me along. A combination of just so happy, just standing here, walking here, sitting here, even looking out the window midnight at it with the lights off inside. Being beckoned, being pulled, but also not have to go anywhere. Just seeing the path endlessly inviting and unfolding. Oh, I should write a poem about that. I feel nature growing through us, etc. The filling moon, the waxing moon, is an ancient image of enlightenment, of progressing on the path of enlightenment till the full moon. Dzogchen has a slightly different approach, but we're not going to go into all that today. I want to do a little chanting and praying in the spirit of these difficult times. I heard that we've almost reached 500,000 Americans that have died of COVID, not to mention how many others there are sick or suffering, or their loved ones and relatives are, and not to mention in the rest of the world. That's just, in the United States of America, not even the North and South America, just United States Americans. It's a lot of people, a lot of difficulty, a lot of suffering, a lot of loss and grief. And we hold them in our hearts and prayers and send them well wishes, loving kindness and compassion and prayers. Gori toka rinche ningpo gu. Yongten kunjungawe chisel de. Ningpo danzi bepe naljapa. Longshin rabjam shabla sawadeb. Sanjay men la shabla sawadeb. Sevni ne lo taba shinkila. To all those who have gone before us, who create a wake, it pulls us along and sets our direction. The primordial Buddha, Kuntazampo, and his emanation, Longchenpa, and all those coming down to our own gracious and generous, loving teachers. From your caves, from your mountaintops, to our hearts, to our homes, to our modern world here. May your medicine Buddha-like blessings, encouragement, wisdom, teachings, and inspiration heal all that afflicts us physically, outwardly, and also innerly, mentally, psychically, emotionally, and also socially and economically, and bring strife to this restless, violent world. May your elixir light, wisdom, teachings, and pithy instructions and practices heal all that afflicts us, all the kaleshas and negative karma, and bring about a better world, a better life for one and all. May the pandemic be healed. May cancer and other such physical afflictions be solved and healed. May hatred and prejudice and selfishness and xenophobia and jingoism be rebalanced, rectified, and healed, and a more harmonious world, more equitable world, more just world be possible. May we all participate in that great bodhisattva or spiritual hero endeavor. Holding all in our hearts, unfolding the wings of our hearts, holding all in our hearts, prayers and aspirations and affirmations and well-wishing. May all suffering be alleviated. May this endangered environment itself be rebalanced, healed, and restored. And may we all together fulfill the promise of this liberating and healing, beautiful spiritual journey. One family, one Sangha, one satsang, one beloved community, one circle, one Samaya, one Imaho. Let's practice loving kindness and compassion, meditation equal to all, the four Brahma Viharas, the four divine abodes, the four boundless, how the gods roll, the Brahma Viharas, Seme Shi in Tibetan, the four boundless, loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity, including mercy, forgiveness, generosity, tenderness, empathy. In short, loving kindness and compassion meditation, Avalokiteshvara's meditation, Chenrezi, Kuan Yin meditation, Taras, even according to some, the Dalai Lama's main Chenrezi compassion meditation. Chanting Om Mani Padme Hung. I'm going to try a couple of tunes. Hum along, chant along if you wish. I'm sorry if we can't synchronize better. We're working on it in the field, electronics, digital, trying, soon coming. So we can chant together as if we're in person, hearing each other. resonating together. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 May all beings be healed and whole again. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 May all be happy, content, fulfilled. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Compassion for all who suffer, feeling with them, empathy, the root of compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Loving kindness, well-wishing to one and all. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 May all be liberated, awakened, for free. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 May all be self-actualizing, self-mastery, self-actualizing, self-realization. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 May this earth, this planet itself be healed, rebalanced, restored. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Love for all who want and need the same as we do. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Oh, mommy, pray me home. Om Mani Padme Hum. Lift up the spirit, raise the spirit. Om Mani Padme Hum. The spirit of bodhicitta. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Love for one and all equally. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 The Buddha's heart mantra, the Dalai Lama's mantra, the six-syllable mantra of Tibet, the Bodhicitta mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mantra of great compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Chenrezi Avalokitesvara, she who watches over the world. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Love for one and all. Wishing others well. Wow. Joy to the world. How sweet it is. There is no way to joy. Joy is the way. The joyous Dharma of awakening, buoyant Dharma of awakefulness. Pure presence, pure being, Rigpa, the Buddha-ness within. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 This tune also has 4 lines. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum ad infinitum. Om Mani Padme Hum. It's Om Mani Padme Hum all the way down. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. The world is made of Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Every breath, every molecule, every atom. Om Mani Padme Hum. The self-resounding mantra, the cosmic sound, the celestial choir. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Coming through you. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Coming to your neighborhood now. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 I feel like ringing the bell like the Good Humor truck. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So all of the children come. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Bodhisattva of children. Om Mani Padme Hum. Lifting them all up in the light. Om Mani Padme Hum. Protecting and guarding them. Om Mani Padme Hum. Boosting and empowering them. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Buddha called us all the children. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Children of noble family. Om Mani Padme Hum. With all the Buddha potential. Om Mani Padme Hum. Those are his words. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum, I love you. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 embrace you. Om Mani Padme Hum, include you. Om Mani Padme Hum, respect you. Om Mani Padme Hum, love you. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 all good. Om Mani Padme Hum, all accepting. Om Mani Padme Hum, wonderful, beautiful. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, beyond looks and mere appearances. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. What a gift, the present, what a miracle. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Everything is Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, hanging out. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh my God, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank God for Buddhist Dharma. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, and all good things. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Who knew? Om Mani Padme Hum, oh. Om Mani Padme Hum, ooh, ah, Om Mani Padme Hum, oh yeah, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Like you get into it, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, why not? Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Hanging out together, co-meditating. Om Mani Padme Hum, intermeditating. Om Mani Padme Hum, interbeing. Om Mani Padme Hum, oh yeah. Om Mani Padme Hum, Imaho, wondrous, amazing, hallelujah. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Eureka, Swaha, Amen. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, gently dissolving, melting. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Make the chant your own, grok it. Om Mani Padme Hum, part of yourself. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, every day in every way. Om Mani Padme Hum, oh yeah. Om Mani Padme Hum, especially today. Om Mani Padme Hum, especially right now. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. How sweet it is. Chenrezi's big heart meditation. Just resting in that big heart, taking refuge, finding sanctuary, just being. Chenrezi, Imaho. If the inner mantra, the mental mantra continues, just listen. Dig it. Why not? All good. Good to Zampo. The natural flow. Let it be, let it go. Imaho. awareness alone, naked awareness, pure presence, the Buddha heart mind, God's mind, the natural state, whatever you call it, the groundless ground of being with a capital B plus. See? Just resting in the presence. How many words or concepts do I need to lay out without getting words and concepts getting in the way? Just being. Jinrezi, Avalokiteshvara, Tara, Kuan Yin, the Buddha, love and compassion, just being in the presence that we raised through co-meditation, through chanting together, through concentrating, through aspiring and praying and well-wishing, relying on the natural state, abiding in it, resting in it, just being aware, awareness, aware of awareness, not even trying to meditate or control your mind. All good. In the womb of Shunyata, Prajnaparamita, the womb of all the Buddhas, the effulgent, overflowing void. Nowhere to go, nothing more to do. Imahu. Ah, who, Imho. Let it all go. And yet, awakeful, attentive, incandescently lucid and present, presencing, awaring, mindfuling along. If God is a verb, certainly awareness is a verb. Awaring, awaring out. Don't leave home without it. In fact, why even leave home? Assume your Buddha seat right here and now. Imho. Who do you think you're not? Oh, children, no, a good family, noble family. Imho. Enjoy the buoyant joy of natural co-meditation. Wondrous, amazing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gratitude is the only prayer one needs. This is Meister Eckhart. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Try eyes open, ears open, nose open, mouth open. Go gaga. Let go of reference points. Get out of your head into your heart, into your hara, your stomach, your navel chakra. Feel your body. Throat open, chest open, diaphragm open, anus open, everything open, relaxed, decontracted, deconstricted. Loosen the tight fist, the knot of ego, of self-reference. What about me? Self-improvement projects, and just savor this miraculous present, this gift, this moment, however it momentarily presents itself. Whatever arises in the body-mind continuum in the present moment, that's it. In the big frame, in the big perspective, Mahamudra, Zoka Chempo, the ultimate perspective, everything fits. Let go, let drop all the balls you have up in the air. Maybe wherever they fall, be the right place. You don't have to put them all in place one by one. Maybe wherever they fall could be the right place, or they'll roll into the right place. Or most of them will. It could be good enough. Contentment is the ultimate form of wealth. Letting go means letting things come and go, letting be, not attached, without judging, blaming, or evaluation. For this practice, at least in life, we might be different. Eye gazing, sky gazing, space mingling, infinite dissolving, like a salt doll waiting in the sea, wading into the waves, dissolving like a bubble in the sea. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. See water within, see water without already. No need to slay or pop the ego. It's just a little bubble in the vast sea. Awareness of cosmic consciousness, of being, just being aware. That's the tantric shift. Transport the small, selfish being, the ego, to your best self, your highest self, transcendent self, immanent in each and all of us. Wow. That's the great journey. Not from here to there, the so-called other shore, but from here to totally and completely here, 100%, 200% here, present and accountable. Imaho. Responsible for one's own acts, thoughts, and deeds, one's own karma. Imaho. Keep your hands on the steering wheel of karma, of causation. That's the secret of self-mastery. Imaho. Now close your eyes and keep sky gazing, space mingling, infinite dissolving. Go into the inner space, the inner sky, the inner infinite, the inner luminescence. It's not really dark in there, is it? It's very iridescent, luminous. The inner incandescence of awareness, the clear light of the mind. Gaze into that, release into that. Unify with that. Looking at the light, breathing into the light, becoming the light, be light, lighten up, and lighten up. Imaho. That's it. Brilliant. Imaho. The Dzogchen prayer book, please. Kempo's dedication prayer and the millennium prayer. Thank you. This is translated from Tibetan. Through the merit of this, may the light of the Buddha's precious teachings remain for ages to come, the ground for every single kind of benefit and happiness. May all the supreme holders of the teachings who uphold this living truth accept our request to live for aeons and their lotus feet stand firm in this world. And so may the sun of altruism and well-being, that is bodhicitta, in all its blazing splendor, shine the brilliant light of study and practice of Buddha Dharma throughout every possible corner of the universe for the benefit of one and all sentient beings with whom we are inseparable, who want and need the same as we do, but are just seemingly pursuing it through all kinds of different ways. And the little millennium prayer, may all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may all be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, and free. May there be peace in this world and throughout all realms of existence, and an end to war, violence, poverty, injustice, pandemics, inequality, and oppression. And may we all together complete this marvelous, blessed spiritual journey. One Sangha, one satsang, one beloved community, one circle, one koinonia, transformative communion and community, the royal we. Imaho, how sweet it is, the innate grape confection. There are many ways of meditating in this world. There are many contemplative practices, some sitting, some standing, walking meditation, some silence, some with chanting, some with gestures, mudras, listening to music, co-meditating with music or with mantras, and so on. There are analytical meditations, reflecting on subjectivity and shunyata, or the nature of identity, self, and selflessness, or no separate self. Some people, some traditions meditate with eyes open, many with eyes closed. It's not really the eyes that do the meditating, so it really shouldn't matter. Of course, it's a matter of personal preference. I learned first with eyes closed, then eventually with eyes open. It's a little easier to get started with eyes closed and turn off your habitual movie screen and, quote, go inwards. After a while, that might seem like a one-way street, and one can be more integrative with daily life and learn how to cultivate and bring awareness into daily life with eyes open and ears open and all the senses open and receptive, and still mindful of perceptions, feelings, thoughts, all arisings in the body-mind continuum in the present moment, moment by moment. even with eyes open. Why not? Then we can carry it forward into the world, into life, where the rubber really meets the road on the spiritual path, not just on our meditation cushion or in our protected, designated sitting spot or meditation room or something at home or in our garden. We're in a house of worship on Sunday, but there's 6.5 other days of the week to consider, and all the different areas and aspects of our life, alone and with others, where we can integrate the spirit and be our best self and cultivate our highest true nature and our ideals, and transport ourselves from the small egoic entity, the selfish ego, to the transpersonal being of the supreme self, of the Buddha nature, of the Bodhisattva, less selfish, fearful, greedy, anxious, needy, and more generous, mutually reciprocal, and equal to all, unselfish, kind, compassionate, empathic, wise, in fact, without totally disregarding ourselves or putting ourselves in the back of the bus. This is for one and all, for all beings, including oneself, spiritual benefits. In Dzogchen and Mahamudra, we usually meditate with eyes open, but not entirely. Also, we can go into the inner light or the inner space in clear light meditation, inner sky gazing, inner embodiment or chakra and channel and energy body contemplations, and so on. So find your way, what's good for you, what works for you. Ask your questions, learn about it, try it out. Just don't be restless jumping from one to another. Whenever one gets hard, trying the other, just restless. There's a middle way to be found, balance and appropriateness. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, Lama, good morning. There's two. First is a bit of a protocol, and then the second is from two different people, one from Kirsten and one from Kristen, and then one from Leona. So are we now initiated into the mantra we chanted this morning? You can do it at home.
Yes. In English, in American, yes. In the old world, in the world of Tantric Vajrayana, no, there was no initiation. But anybody can chant that mantra, and especially if you're introduced to it by a Lama with the lineage and empowerment initiation of that mantra and so on. Initiation is more of a formal ceremony and going through, initiating or sprinkling or empowering or anointing the body, the speech, the mind, the energy, step by step, and there's 10 parts to it and things like that. It's a Abhisheka ceremony in Sanskrit, empowerment, initiation. But yes, to answer your question, yes, now you're empowered or initiated to chant the mantra. Most of these Vajrayana, Tantric, Tibetan Buddhist type mantras are part of a whole sadhana, a practice, a traditional text that includes visualization and mantra and the conceptualization or mental part, like asking for blessings from the archetype personified as the deity, visualization, and then merging with it and becoming it and being it. So those are like 3 or 4 steps right there. And so it's a little complicated. It's a little different than just sitting meditation. And each of those mantras usually comes with an initiation, or you don't just receive the mantra, but the whole practice and something that you promise to do every day or you ask for. So this is not that kind of situation. This is public. in general, and I think every Lama will, Tibetan Lama type will agree with this. Om Mani Padme Hung, the mantra of great compassion, called Chenrezi in Tibetan, Avalokiteshvara in Sanskrit, Kuan Yin in China, Kannon in Japan, same archetype or deity, if you will. God or goddess, same, androgynous. And Tara, the female Buddha. Those two mantras can well be chanted without initiation, empowerment. That's the general thinking. And everybody in Tibet or Tibetan Buddhism does that. Sometimes using beads, mala beads, counting 108 or 21 every day as a practice, or walking around holding it behind your back and counting them as like a walking meditation, or circumambulating a holy place while doing that. So feel free to enjoy it and chant it and sing it. And you can hear different tunes if you research, if you look online, if you want to hear it from different people chanting it. Let's say Tibetan, let's say lamas. There may be others chanting Om Mani Padme Hung or Om Tare Tutare Turi Soha. You can learn how from their chant CDs, their chant streamings, their YouTubes, and so on. What's the other question, Jeff?
Could you speak to the way of joy? You had mentioned the way of joy in your
Yes, I said
today.
There is no way to joy. Joy is the way. I think I'll trot out the yes.
Sorry, and full complete question was compared to spiritual bag.
I didn't hear the last word. Spiritual what? Bypass? Baggage? What did you say?
Bypass.
Bypass. Well,
Yeah.
those are two
Yeah.
very different
Bypass.
things.
Yeah.
Thich Nhat Hanh, who's no slouch, who's no, rationalizer, lifetime monk, Buddhist scholar, master of many languages, peace activist, Zen master. Thich Nhat Hanh, author of many books, scholarly and popular. He says, of course, the world is full of suffering. Dukkha, the first core fact of life, first noble truth taught by Buddha. Dukkha, the unenlightened life is full of suffering and dissatisfaction. But he says one can learn to embrace the dukkha joyfully. So that's a very short, boiled down key. In other words, not be disappointed or disillusioned, realize that that is the nature of the unenlightened life, and one can, embrace it or encounter it more joyfully and less resistantly. And that could be very freeing and relieving and joyful. It doesn't mean we wish that on anyone, or we're masochists or sadomasochists. No, he's just saying one could embrace it joyfully, knowing that that's the facts of life. And the only way beyond that is enlightenment. Spiritual bypass is a little different. And even the notion of transcending suffering might be a spiritual bypass if we're not careful. It's easy to fall into that and, just block it out or be in denial, or I don't know, seek oblivion, which, like being drunk or intoxicated in other ways, or even like getting into a meditation state where nothing arises, could be a spiritual bypass. Like whiting everything out, kind of like Pollyanna-ish, glad handing everything and not noticing the multicolored chiaroscuro of samsara and nirvana, worldliness and freedom. So spiritual bypass often means going around and not taking care of your business, like avoiding difficult situations and difficult people. I'm not saying we need to look for them or marry them on purpose to challenge ourselves, but avoiding them is also, attachment is fixation. Attachment is the cause of suffering. Holding on too tight to what's slipping through our fingers, all impermanent things, brings irritation, suffering. So letting go is in our higher self-interest. But resistance is also attachment. It's the same as I want attraction, attachment, desire. I want because we think it'll make us happy or better or complete. And I want not because we think it'll interfere with that, or resistance is just another form of attachment. So the spiritual bypass is a way of avoiding things that we will have to, in any case, take care of later anyway. It's like sweeping garbage under the rug and thinking that it's gone until later it starts to stink. Or putting nuclear waste into the ocean in a 50-year sealed concrete container that is well known. It's only going to last 50 years, but hey, I won't be here. I won't have to eat those fish. It'll be my grandchildren. Oh, I didn't think of that. Well, it's gone. That's a bypass. So a well-rounded spiritual life, and that's why there's the Eightfold Path. That's why there's the 3 higher trainings: ethics, meditation, and wisdom, comprising the Eightfold Path of enlightenment. It includes right livelihood and, wise speech and other things, not just wise mindfulness and wise concentration. That's the meditation part. So having a well-rounded spiritual life could also mean, right relationships and good humor and things like that. If Buddha was teaching today, he'd probably add a few extra innings like that to the Eightfold Path: good humor, right relationships, and I don't know what. Because it's a living Dharma, not just for preservation, but also for adaptation, innovation in new times and places. Thank you. Good question. But the joy path, let's go back to that, because we hear enough about dukkha from people generally. Skruka, as I translate it. Dukkha, dissatisfactoriness or suffering, I might add, of the unenlightened life. There is another life possible. I don't mean in the next life, I mean here. But Joseph Campbell always said, when asked about this, follow your joy path. Find out what, brings joy to you, which is a different word than love in a way. It's like what you're passionate about. I don't want to say what you're good at, but you know what I mean. Like what fits. Like if you're good at music, you don't have to be a musician. But on the other hand, why not explore that gift? It's a gift. It's not just something to be proud of. It's a gift. Who wants to die with the gift, the music in this case, locked up inside of us? So follow your joy path. And that doesn't just mean follow your desires into the bar, into the opium den, into the addiction, the middle way. But find your passion in life and find your true vocation. Make a life, not just a living. The fifth step on the Eightfold Path. Even Buddha, a monk, taught wise livelihood, right livelihood, finding your true vocation. So that's part of your joy path. And then trying to see the 3/4. I'm answering the question here. You want a real logical, rational answer about the joy path? Try to see the 3/4 of the glass that's full, not the half that's empty. That helps me. And it just makes me smile every time, even now. I even got a smile out of some other serious students that I'm looking at. You know who you are. I think we might have reached the witching hour. Please consider joining us at our spring retreat, the first weekend in March, virtual retreat, since we can't gather these days during the pandemic lockdown. I hope we'll have in-person retreats again one day. Meanwhile, we can get together and practice. We have virtual retreat the first weekend in March. You'll love it. And also, it seems March 3rd, I'm doing a one day or a several hours workshop on gratitude. March 3rd is my sister Carol's birthday. So it's a great day. It should be a national holiday. I declare it. It's Carol Day. A day of gratitude. I'm grateful for having a sister and a brother. It's helped make me who I am and the joyous path that I have. Even my late mother, she used to say, Jeffrey, you always used to take care of your sister. She was 1 year younger than me. So you always used to take care of her and defend her. What happened? of course, we went slightly different paths. She's an accountant and lives in Long Island, New York. And I don't know where I live, in Massachusetts and in Tibet. I have 2 feet in the old world and 2 feet in the new. That's how I follow my joy path. And I don't feel straddling the fence or split. I'm fully there, here. I mean, the word here is in the word there. Dig it. Being there while getting there every single step of the way, not waiting. Jeff, Menla, do you have any announcements? We'll go out singing and joking and smiling and announcing.
Menla? We're all set. Thank you. You did it. I texted the announcements too, so thank you so much, Lana.
Thank you. We used to study Buddhist texts. Now people quote and say, a text said, and I'm thinking, oh, you mean a sutra? No, I see what you mean, like a tweet or something, a text. Is this progress? Who knows? Only the wise and the childlike can understand. Beyond words, love. Be well, stay healthy and sane and safe, all of you beautiful Bodhi flowers. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lana. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.